Hi there, this is day 4, thinking about love and endurance, and how if we love somebody, our love will obviously be tested to see whether it endures, and we want to love people, some people for the rest of our lives, and of course that love needs to endure, and we need different qualities in order to do that. First of all, we need strength, and of course that strength comes from God. Secondly, we need long suffering, because the people we love will suffer and we have to suffer with them. Thirdly, patience. We have to be patient with people who are learning, who are making mistakes, who need time to develop, and we can't be too quick with the people that we love. We need to go at their pace and continue to love and let them have their own pace of growth. And fourthly, we need to have forgiveness, because of course people that we love will do and say things that will upset us and that will be wrong, in just the same way that we do things that upset others and are wrong. And the disciples were talking to Jesus about this one day, and they said, Jesus, if somebody does something wrong, like this hard time, and it hurts us, do we forgive them for that thing that they do wrong? And Jesus says, well, yes, of course you forgive that sin. And the disciples said, well, what if somebody does the same thing twice? Do we forgive them a second time? Or maybe even a third time if they're feeling quite jealous, even a fourth time or a fifth time. Now we're keeping count by this stage, of course, to see how many times somebody has wronged us, or maybe even 6 times. And if we're that far ahead, why don't we just make it the perfect number 7? So Jesus, if we forgive somebody, would we forgive them up to 7 times? I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you can't keep forgiving somebody, of course. I mean, there has to be a limit, surely. And those 7 things that the person has done wrong to us, which kind of weighs on us and causes us hurt and pain and distress, we bear that, but we forgive 7 times, perhaps. Jesus says, well, no, we actually, not just 7 times, but 70 times 7. Actually, you have to endure. You have to bear with one another. You have to bear one another's burdens. Even bear one another's sins. And you have to do that not just 7 times, but for an infinite number of times. There is no limit, Jesus is saying, to the length of time that we have to endure with one another. There's no limit to how we must bear with one another, how we must forgive one another. We must always forgive when somebody does us wrong. We must always forgive, because Jesus has forgiven us. Every time we sin, does the Bible not say that if we sin, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sin and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness? It puts no limit on that. So when we love somebody, when we endure with somebody in love, we need that strength from God. We will need to be long-suffering. We will need to be patient, and we will need to forgive. And God gives us the grace to be able to do that. God bless you. Speak to you again tomorrow.